above poverty line and half of them below. I mean, the bottom 50% is hovering on the poverty line. So my main concentration is how do we look after our people? How do we provide them their basic necessities? How do we bring rule of law in my country? And the last thing we want is any sort of conflict. So Pakistan, and to answer your question, I see Pakistan's role as maybe one day replicating the role Pakistan played in 1970 when it brought China and the United States together, when Dr. Kissinger made his famous visit to China. I see our role again, us playing that similar role, rather than, getting caught up in these rival blocs. I think the world will suffer because of this, if it happens.
Yes, indeed. I think China certainly is not looking for a new Cold War. I have a sensitive question for you, Prime Minister. The United States and Europe have accused China of genocide against the Uyghurs in Xinjiang. Now, as the leader of a major Muslim country and a country that shares a border with China and geographically close to Xinjiang, what do you see from your perspective?
Dr. Eric, we especially asked our ambassador in China, Moin al-Haq, to go and have a look in Xinjiang and find out what is actually going on. And the report he gave to us was completely different to what is coming out on the Western media. According to him, there is more development taking place. The emphasis on development in Xinjiang is unprecedented. He did mention that there were terrorist attacks by ETIM, and therefore, because of that, there is a certain security issue. But, the sort of things we were told don't exist in Xinjiang and against the Uyghurs.
Well, that's a lot of information. Well, thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. So my last question, we all know Pakistan has been a great and close friend of China's for many, many years. We call you Bhatia, as you know, and we all wish Pakistan well. So please tell us, what is your long-term vision for your country?
Dr. Eric, let me say first of all that, United States has been also a good friend of Pakistan. But it hasn't been a sort of, like with China, an all-weather friend. There have been times when the US has been very friendly, but then, when they think Pakistan is not of use to them, then we get abandoned, and then they again sort of become friendly. For instance, Pakistan became a frontline state against the Soviets in Afghanistan, so Pakistan became a friend of US, and sort of they even helped us and they were good to us. But the moment the Soviets left, they slapped sanctions on Pakistan. But then 10 years later, when again 9/11 happened, they again became very good to us. But then when they could not win in Afghanistan, then we were blamed for this debacle, what took place in Afghanistan. So with US, it's not really been what it has been with China, an all-weather friend. China, for 70 years, our relationship, it has been consistent. Pakistan has, at every possible forum, stood with China. And China, whenever Pakistan has needed China, China has stood with us. And so it's gone deep into our public. It's a peoples-to-people thing now. It doesn't matter whether Imran Khan is in power or someone else is in power. Whoever comes to power in Pakistan will always have a very close friendship with China, because it's a people-to-people friendship.
Yes, of course. I think we feel the same here. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, for your time. It's been a great honor. And I think you'll reach a lot of Chinese audience. And thank you very much for being at the Olympics and show your great support for this amazing event.
Thank you, Dr. Eric.